Life can be so beautiful, and so many people will say, well, life is what you make it. Well, yeah, up until a point, depending on where you live. If you live in the Sudan, you wouldn't actually say to someone starving, hey, life is what you make it, right? I mean, I always think about things like that, that one size does not fit all. You know, those really cheery signs that say family is forever. What about the person that doesn't have a family? You know, so things like that drive me crazy. Hey everybody, thank you so much for coming back and seeing me and Desi today. I missed you so much. I hope you had a good week. You know, it's not always easy to stay so calm, cool, and collected lately. Well, at least for me. But I did a lot of gardening this week and I read a lot of your comments and that helped me so much. What I want to do today is I've been seeing a lot of these videos, you know, like what I've learned in 90 years, I'm going to share with you in 3 minutes. And it's like, oh, okay. And I found that so intriguing. So I wanted to do that and I wanted you to do it with me. So the things that I want to share with you today are things that have changed my life. And most of them I've learned in the last 10, maybe 5 years. So they're things that we don't talk about and things I didn't even realize that were important to me, things I've learned that changed everything for me. I remember when I was 10 years old and my best girlfriend, her mother was, well, she was bigger than life. She was amazing and she would drink a little bit too much and she would like hold court with all of us little girls. And she would look at us and take a sip of her drink and say, you know what? Men come back. They all come back. We would like, what does that mean? But you know what? She was right. Men do come back. They come back in one way or another. They call you up at 2 a.m. after you haven't heard from them in 2 years. Oh, baby, I loved you. And they come back. If you're thinking about him once in a while, he's thinking about you once in a while. Men hang on to the women that they loved. No matter what, they hang on. And there's a part of them that wants to always come back to reclaim what they lost. Men come back. Men come back. I've often wondered why I can take advice from someone and find it so wonderful and welcoming, and yet another person can tell me the same thing and I'm kind of put off by it. I never could figure that out. And then I realized there is such a difference between confidence and arrogance. And it's the pompous arrogance of people that makes me recoil. And I thought to myself, I thought back and I thought of every boss that I had and how arrogant he was, or some of the men that I dated and how arrogant they were. Some of my mother's friends were so terrifically arrogant. They weren't confident, they were arrogant. And what I realized is when you're confident, you're so open because you know who you are, and yet you have a door open where you can take in another person's opinion. You're willing to learn. You're willing to say, I might be wrong. Let's talk about this. Or tell me your opinion. I'm confident. You don't say this out loud, but you say, you feel it within. I am confident enough to hear you out. And maybe I can learn from you because that's the kind of person I am. You're proud of who you are. And you're not thinking to yourself, oh, those people over there, they think I'm stupid, so I'm going to really come off arrogant, and then I'll throw them off the trail that I'm really an idiot. That's how I think of arrogance. Just somebody trying to make you look over there. Hey, there's Elvis. Instead of looking at them. They use their arrogance as a shield of how little they truly think of themselves. And the more insecure they are, the more arrogant they are. And I think that's why I recoil. Because if they try to give me advice, I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be like them.
I watch her, tears living in her eyes, her pupils swimming in sadness, trying to survive the moment. At war with herself for caring about people who don't care about her. She felt like feeling nothing. She felt like feeling nothing.
Mixed signals can be so hurtful. A person says one thing and they do another. And it kind of throws us off our game and it makes us feel so worrisome. It really hurts us. And I have learned in my life that when somebody is giving me mixed signals, don't pay any attention to what they're saying. Pay attention to what they're doing. It's crucial to your mental health and your well-being. Throw out what they say. Take a look at the things they're doing and the things they're not doing, and everything will fall into place. You'll understand exactly what their motives are and how they feel. Sometimes what works against us, or at least for me, what worked against me, was believing what I wanted to believe. Yeah, I think he loves me. I do. I mean, I can't believe the beautiful things that he says to me. And, well, yeah, he missed my birthday, but he said he had to take his mom somewhere and tells me that he loves me. But he's not there. He's not there. Well, the ultimate New York body plan. Do you have to go to New York to get on that? We all have work to do in this life. We all have sorrow that we have inside of us. And half of us want to pretend that it isn't there. And the other half of us, well, we embrace it. And we want to learn about it, and we want to heal, and we want to get better. One size, though, doesn't fit all. And just because I'm working on perhaps the sorrow that I drag around doesn't mean that you have to. But I will promise you this. What I've learned over the years is there is no pill, there is no booze, there is no bet on a horse, there is no shopping trip that is going to take away my sorrow, that is going to take away that hurt that I've been dragging around with me for my entire life. There's nothing externally that I could put in motion that's going to help me. There's no pretty, beautiful new pair of shoes that's going to take that pain away. We'll get there. I was reading studies that showed how we judge each other, and I always thought I'm judged by the car I drive, by the money that I make, the house that I live in, or the apartment. That's how they judge me. But that's not true. That's not what the studies show. People size us up by how happy they think we are. Are we smiling? Are we joyous? Are we talking about our talent, our accomplishments, our family? Do we exude happiness and joy? That's how we're judged. You can be having this big party with your family and maybe there's not a millionaire in the bunch. So then the millionaire shows up and he sits down and he starts bitching. And he's got grievances and he's mad about this and he's mad about that. And he's bad-mouthing his family and he seems all miserable. And you walk away thinking, oh boy, I'm glad I'm me. I may not have a lot of money, but I'm happy. And that's how people judge us. And they can't help themselves. Our whole society is geared on that great car and making that money. And in the end, it's all about being happy. Nobody mentioned that to me when I was 20, 30, 40. I had to come to that conclusion myself with the help of a few studies that back that up. How happy are you? How successful are you? There are so many things about beauty that I've learned in my lifetime. And ever since I was a young kid, I always wanted to be pretty. I wanted to try to look pretty with makeup and a little lipstick and skincare. And in the last 10 years, I've shared with you so many things, serums and masks and peels and all that. But this little bottle of rosehip seed oil, I use this morning, noon, and night. This is the most important thing that I use on my face and my neck. And yeah, I show you other things, and some are cheap and some are expensive, but this bottle right here, it's everything to me. It is, I always think of rosehip seed oil as my secret weapon for my neck and on my cheeks, underneath my eyes. It's just so nourishing, and I just even love smelling it. What has happened to humanity? But you know what I've learned in 70 years? People are good. The majority of people are good. There is no two ways around it. People are kind. People are willing to give people a second, third, fourth chance. When a human being sees another human being suffering, they will fly into help mode. They will dive into that ice water to help a dog. We're really not supposed to complain. We're supposed to have that smile on our face. We don't want to burden people, but people suffer. If there's one thing I've learned being here on this platform for 10 years, is that people suffer. and especially women. There are so many women around this globe that are not allowed to drive. They're not allowed to speak. They're not allowed to go to school or to learn. People suffer. Rich people suffer. Poor people suffer. You look at all these self-help gurus, right? These little shorts and things you see on Facebook, and they tell you A, B, and C. Change those and your life is going to be swell. You know? Really? The woman who gets up in the morning and her house has been bombed, her children have been killed, her husband is missing. You really think that the advice somebody is giving you in a YouTube short is going to help that woman who's just lost everything? One size does not fit all. We have to have an open heart and an open mind, but we also have to acknowledge that we don't have the answers. We can only hold each other tight and love each other. But we can't be so arrogant to think that we have the answers for people to be happier or to live a better life, because we are not them. It is our responsibility to love them, to support them, to talk about their issues. That's the most important thing we can do. We can be there. We can lend a helping hand. We can help them rebuild. We can help them tear down. We can help them find a home or find a different home. But every person is different. And if somebody tells you they have the answers to life, run. I need to do the work myself, but I also need love around me and friends around me. And I need to keep an open mind and listen to all kinds of things and take what I need and leave the rest. The one thing I know for sure is behind every song, every movie, every YouTube video, every phone call, there's this desire for us to communicate with each other. And those of us that have the most challenging times trying to communicate, trying to talk to somebody, or, the normal channels of communication, I always think of an artist hiding behind the bathroom door and slipping notes about their life underneath the door because they're too shy for somebody to see their face. They don't have the guts or the talent or the will to actually say how they're feeling face to face. So they do it in other ways. They sculpt beautiful statues, or they paint beautiful paintings, or they raise the most beautiful children. They keep the most lovely homes. They volunteer with all their being. They try to do good every single day. It's communication. And we each find our way to communicate the best we can. And sometimes it's so unconventional. I know I'm so shy sometimes to tell you things, but I can do it with my camera. How about you? Don't you feel that way sometimes? Like, well, I can write a note to my daughter better than I can talk to her face to face. But it's all communication. It's all this validation that we're in this life together and we are all walking each other home. That without each other, we're nothing. Communication, love, faith, we all share it. We're all on a bus and we're going somewhere. And we're going together. It's just some have better shoes than others.
All of my mistakes were people who were never what they promised to be. But that includes me.
Desi. Gigi.
Desi has been trying on some of his Christmas bow ties, and he has been sleeping on and off all day. I don't know what's going on with him. But anyway.
Oh, this is such a beautiful plant. This is my pink princess, and it did survive the winter, but it didn't grow much. I repotted it, I put it in the sun, and I'm hoping for big things this summer from the princess.
Hey everybody, thank you so much for hanging out with me and Desi today. I hope you liked the video, and if you have time tonight, maybe down below you could share something that you've learned in the years that you've been living. It helps so much when, well, we can learn from others' triumphs and mistakes. Please have yourself a wonderful, happy, brand new week. And when you're done with your week, please come back and see me and Desi, okay? All right, it's a deal. We'll be here.